The tiny kind act that changed a life seedling. One cold morning, a boy named Ali was walking to school in a small village. The wind was strong, and the sky was gray. As he walked, he noticed an old man sitting by the roadside. The man looked tired and hungry. People were passing by, but no one stopped. Ali checked his small school bag. Inside, he had only a sandwich his mother had packed for lunch. He felt a little hungry, but when he looked at the old man again, he felt something in his heart. Ali walked up to him and said politely, "Uncle, would you like my sandwich?" The old man looked surprised. His eyes filled with tears as he gently took the sandwich. "Thank you, my son," he said with a warm smile. Ali went to school that day with an empty stomach, but his heart felt full. Years later, Ali worked hard and became a teacher in the same village. One day, a well-dressed man came to visit the school. When the man saw Ali, he smiled. "Do you remember giving a sandwich to a hungry old man many years ago?" he asked. Ali thought for a moment and nodded. "That was my father," the man said. "Your kindness gave him hope on a very difficult day. He always told me about the boy who shared his lunch. Today, I want to help this school in his memory." The man donated books, desks, and supplies for all the students. Ali realized something important that day: even the smallest act of kindness can grow into something big and beautiful. Many years had passed since Ali shared his sandwich with the hungry old man. After finishing school and college, Ali returned to his village and became a teacher. He believed that education could change lives, just like kindness could. Ali loved teaching. Every morning he welcomed his students with a warm smile and reminded them, "Knowledge makes you smart, but kindness makes you truly great." One sunny afternoon, while Ali was teaching a lesson, the school principal came to the classroom door and said, "Ali, someone important has come to see you." Ali walked to the office and saw a well-dressed man standing there. The man looked at him carefully and then smiled. "Are you Ali?" he asked. "Yes," Ali replied politely. The man shook his hand warmly. "I have been looking for you for many years." Ali looked confused. "Looking for me? But why?" The man gently took out an old photograph from his wallet. It showed an elderly man sitting on a roadside bench. "My father carried this photo everywhere," the man explained. "Years ago, when he had nothing to eat and no one to help him, a young boy gave him his lunch. That boy was you." Ali suddenly remembered the cold morning, the hungry old man, and the sandwich he had shared. The man continued, "That small act of kindness gave my father hope. He often said, if a child with so little could share, the world must still be a good place." That hope helped him keep going. The man's eyes shone with gratitude. "My father worked hard after that day. Slowly our life improved. Before he passed away, he asked me to find the boy who helped him and thank him properly." Ali felt deeply moved. He had never imagined that a small sandwich could mean so much to someone. The man then said, "In my father's memory, I want to help your school." Soon after, new books arrived for the library. The classrooms received new desks and chairs. The playground was repaired, and many students who could not afford school supplies were given everything they needed. The whole village was grateful. One day, Ali gathered his students under a large tree in the schoolyard and told them the story of the sandwich. The children listened with wide eyes. Ali smiled and said, "Never think that small kindness is unimportant. Sometimes the smallest good deed can travel far and touch many lives." From that day on, the students tried to help others whenever they could, sharing food, helping friends study, and showing respect to everyone. And the story of a tiny sandwich and a kind heart was remembered in the village for many generations. After the school received new books, desks, and supplies, life slowly began to change in the village. The classrooms looked brighter, and the students felt more excited about learning. Many children who once struggled to study now had the tools they needed. Ali worked even harder as a teacher. Every day he encouraged his students not only to study well but also to help others. He often told them, "Kindness spreads from one heart to another, just like light spreading in the dark." One day, Ali had an idea. He gathered all the students in the schoolyard and said, "Today we are starting something special. It will be called the Kindness Club." The students looked curious. Ali explained, "Members of this club will try to do at least one kind act every day. It can be something small, helping a friend with homework, sharing food, cleaning the playground, or comforting someone who feels sad." The children loved the idea. Soon the Kindness Club became very popular. Every week, students shared stories of the kind things they had done. One student helped an elderly neighbor carry water. Another shared her books with a classmate who could not afford them. Some students planted trees around the village to make it greener. Slowly, the spirit of kindness began spreading beyond the school. Parents, neighbors, and shopkeepers noticed how helpful the children had become. Meanwhile, the well-dressed man who had helped the school often visited to see the progress. He felt proud seeing how his father's story had inspired so many young hearts. One afternoon, during the school's annual celebration, the man stood in front of the students and said, "Many years ago, a small boy gave my father a sandwich. That tiny act gave him hope. Today, I see that one small act has grown into hundreds of kind actions in this village." The students clapped loudly. Ali smiled as he looked at the children. He realized something wonderful. Kindness had become part of the village's culture. Years later, many of Ali's students grew up to become doctors, teachers, farmers, and engineers. But wherever they went, they carried the lesson they learned at school. Even the smallest act of kindness can change someone's life. And it all began with one hungry old man, one caring boy, and one simple sandwich. Moral: kindness is powerful. One small good deed can create a